Hello everybody and welcome to this short video showing you how to upgrade your Avantra Master System on 20.5.x to the latest version as released today, which is 20.5.6. So I'm going to take you through it step by step. So let's start off first by logging into the system and seeing what we have. So the first thing I can do is I can go in and have a look about my Avantra Master Server. Click in here and you can see I'm running Avantra Master Server 20.5.4 and Avantra UI 20.5.4. I can check for updates and it will contact the Avantra activation servers to see if there's a newer version available. So we can see here there's a new version under 20.5.6 which was released today. Okay, so how do we go about upgrading the system? Well, it's quite easy. First of all, we start by going to downloads.avantra.com and logging into our support website. If you don't have a login for this support website, please email us at support@avantra.com. So here we see a few things. The first thing is we see the release notes for 20.5.6. So we've added some new features around providing fallback to use RC agent script for start stop, even if you're already using systemd. We've also improved some stuff, so we now support custom attributes for SAP Business Objects and cloud services. For Active Directory integration, we now allow the use of the SAM account name instead of the principal name. And also when you're doing an initial install, we've done some enhancements around how often the installer has to connect to the Postgres SQL database during setup. Also, there's some bugs here which have also been squashed. Okay, so we want to go ahead and upgrade our server. So we're going to come down to Components and select Avantra Server. And here we have the full list of supported versions of the Avantra Server available, and we want to go into 20.5.6. Now, the installation I'm going to show you is on a Ubuntu server, 64-bit, running on the LTS version, which is 20. So here you can see we want the Avantra Server 20.5.6 Linux x64. Now, I'm going to use our newly created direct link download. So if you click direct link, you get a number of options which will automatically download from a one-time URL that's valid for 12 hours, the latest version of your Avantra Master. So I'm going to use curl. I'm just going to copy this, and now I'm going to switch this over so you can see my terminal window. So now I'm logged into the box. So I'm logged in as root. So first of all, I'm going to go in and log in as my user that runs my Avantra Master Server. So in this case, it's the Avantra user. And just for the sake of personal preference, I'm just going to switch to Bash. And I'm going to CD over to the install directory for my Avantra Master Server. In this case, it's for legacy reasons, it's called syslink. And as you can see here, I have my JRE, I have my master server, I have my Xandria DB and my Xandria GUI all ready to go. So now I'm going to paste that URL that we copied earlier to download the latest version of the master server. So paste and go. And now it's downloading the Avantra Master installer from that S3 bucket where we store them. And if I do an ls, you'll see it has downloaded correctly the Avantra Master Server 20.5.6. So right now we need to make this executable. So I'm going to say chmod plus x Avantra Master Server like this. And then the installer is as easy as just running this. So what it's going to happen now, it's going to verify the integrity of the download. It's going to uncompress. It's going to make sure it has access to a valid JRE. And then it's going to update the master, followed shortly by the UI. This process typically takes somewhere in the region of 30 seconds to a minute or two. And as you can see here now, for me, it's already done. So what's going to happen now is once the installer is complete, it will now restart the Avantra Master Services. And then we'll be able to log back in and just make sure that that update completed successfully. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this user and I'm going to switch back over to my browser. Okay, so we're done with the downloads page. And again, it's very useful in here to go back and review previous release notes if you want to see anything that we've been changing within our various versions. And also if you've raised a support ticket and there's something we've changed as a result of that ticket, typically you'll be able to match the ZAN identifier in a release note back to one that was given to you by the support team when you were talking to them. Okay, so let's go back to our Avantra Master Server. So I'm going to reload the page and let's see if our system is up yet. It is. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and log in. So log in as root, password, and we're in. So now let's go into the About page, and you can see just like that, the Avantra Master Server is upgraded to 20.5.6, which is the latest version, and it's good to go. So we've done that there in about 2 minutes, and you can do it even faster if you weren't streaming at the same time. So now I'm going to see if I can upgrade the agents as well. So in this particular test system, I only have one agent deployed, and it's actually on the system itself where we're running the Avantra Master Server. And you can see that the agent version is 20.5.4 here. Okay, so it's time to upgrade this. So we go back to our download site, and if we go down the bottom, you'll see there's 3 options. There's server, contributions, and agent. So let's pop into agent, and we want to pull the latest agent, which is 20.5.6. Now, I've already downloaded this just for the sake of speed, but here you can download agent 20.5.6.bin as a direct download. I'm going to push the agent upgrade via the Avantra Master UI in this particular scenario. So I'm going to pop back to my Avantra Master, and I'm going to go to Administration and Agent Updates. So in here, you'll be able to see what packages, what Avantra agent packages you have uploaded to your Avantra Master Server to be able to be pushed out to your various agents in your landscape. So I'm going to upload agent 20.5.6, and this will take a couple of minutes. So it's always good practice to be able to deploy this from your master server if at all possible, because it just makes it that little bit easier. You can select multiple systems and say, hey, all of these servers running this version, push the agent out to these servers, and the master server will inform you if there's any issues and actually complete that upgrade for you. So it makes it nice and easy. You can, of course, do this yourself manually if you have another automation system where, for example, you might want to use an Ansible playbook to push out the agent upgrades. Absolutely supported. By all means, do this. But this is just a nice feature that we offer as part of the Avantra Master Server. So what's happening now is we're uploading the agent file itself up into the Avantra Master, and then we're going to select which servers we want to deploy it to. Now, in my case, because I only have one server selected in the system, it becomes very easy. If I wanted to, I could download this agent directly to the master OS as I'm already logged in and run the agent update myself. But in this case, I'm going to do it through our UI. So we're nearly done with the upload. So as you can see here now, it's just uploading. And then once that's done, we're going to trigger an update on our Avantra Master Server itself. Okay, so there we go. Agent 20.5.6.bin is ready to be used. So let's go back to servers and into our Avantra Master Server. And there's a little button here beside the agent version that says Update Agent. Now here I could decide to put it to 20.5.5 or 20.5.4 again if I wanted to do a reinstall, but I'm just going to do 20.5.6 and start update. If I go to the status page and double click, I can see exactly what's happening on the server. So here you can see it downloaded the agent from the master server to the server we want to update. In this case, it's the local machine. Okay, great. And now it'll go through the process of actually updating it. You can run into some problems here at times if there's permission issues. Some of the older versions, for example, required sudo in order to restart the agent service itself. But all of these are well documented in our knowledge base areas. And if you run into major problems, of course, please raise a support ticket and we'll be more than happy to help. But as you can see here, it's updated the agent and it's stopped it and it's restarting it and it's starting the system service. Agent was successfully updated from version 20.5.4 to 20.5.6, just like that. So now we go back to our servers, hit refresh, and I'm actually going to force the agent, because the agent will check in periodically, but I'm going to force it for this particular scenario to tell us how it's doing and to report back to the master server. And in a couple of minutes, we'll see this upgrade. There we go, 20.5.6. If I do a refresh down here, 20.5.6. Okay, so that's it. So now we have upgraded our master server, our Avantra master server, to 20.5.6 from an older version. Doesn't really matter which version you're upgrading from, especially if you're in the 20.x code line. It's as simple as what I just showed here. Once we did that upgrade, which took a couple of minutes, we then proceeded to upload the latest agent to the Evantra master server and then pushed it out to a specific server within our landscape to upgrade the agent on that landscape. The final step, which I won't show you here today, is if you had an SAP system configured on that server where the agent resided, you may want to consider also upgrading the SAP transports that are on that system. But rule of thumb, keep your master server as up to date as possible, as often as possible, and we don't release updates that often, so keep it updated. The agents should be next. Try and keep them updated, but never higher than the master server. So the master server is always the highest, then the agent, and then finally upgrade your transports after that. But it's always in the flow of master at the highest version, agent at the next highest, and then transports after that. So that's it. You've now upgraded your system. Enjoy playing with the latest version of Evantra.